Hi, welcome everybody. We're here joined with Lindsey. And Lindsey, tell us about yourself and your business.
Well, I started with my own business by joining the 9U program. Since I've kind of branched out and done more than just Amazon, but that's where I started. I followed the program and set up all my own things like my LLC and everything that comes along with that. Set up my own website. Sourced my own products. Went through some trials and tribulations with that, and then I've just started branching out away from, not away from, but on top of Amazon. I sell on Etsy, and I have a listing on eBay, and then I have a Facebook page / store. I also, on top of doing FBA with Amazon, I buy storage units through online auctions, and then I resell the contents of the storage units. Sometimes I keep some stuff because you could probably walk through my house and there's probably something in every single room that came from a storage unit because we've bought quite a few. And so I sell the smaller, less heavy, more valuable items on eBay. And then the furniture, because there's always furniture in every single one, I sell on the Facebook Marketplace, because those are kind of hard to, it'd be hard to ship a dresser. And then I have garage sales for whatever else I can't get rid of online. So the garage sale stuff, the garage sale pile gets bigger and bigger towards the end of winter. And then it gets smaller towards the end of summer. But my husband and I also do custom furniture, like the dog crate cabinets, where it's like a table, and then it's solid wood, and it's a dog crate underneath. So and we use 2x4s and 2x6s and rebar for the partition part, and that's I dabble. I'm doing just about anything to do my part to contribute to my family's income.
Awesome. Sounds like you got your toes wet in just about any kind of business you guys are good at. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
To kind of paint a broad picture of your experience in life prior to creating your business, tell us a little bit of what you've done in life for work.
I spent 10 years as a service writer. And for those of you that don't know what that is, I was the in-between person at dealerships in the service department. I would help customers and be the in-between customer and technician. So I know a lot more about cars than most men. And I was really, really good at that job. It just wasn't conducive to having a family. I've got 3 children, 12-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And it's the service writer job was 12 hours a day. It was salary, and I'd leave at 6 and not get home till 7, or I had, hours similar to that. And I worked at a few different dealerships. My favorite one to work at money-wise was like Toyota or Honda, because those customers tend to take better care of their vehicles, and no hampering on anyone. It's kind of a fact. And then as far as morale and great places to work, I really enjoyed working at the Chevy dealership that's actually 5 minutes down the road from where I live now. I got out of that because of the hours. The last place I worked was in Olympia, Washington, and I was working at a Chevrolet dealership, and it was always so busy that I'd get there at 6:30 in the morning, get ready for the day, and the door would open at 7, and it literally wouldn't stop until we closed the door at 6. And I wouldn't get any time to eat lunch, or much less use the bathroom. Like it was highly stressful and always busy. Like I didn't even have a moment to breathe, and it was hard to keep up. as far as I was really good at my job. I loved doing it and I miss doing it, but it's not good for a family. So after I left that job, my husband was looking for some other type of job I could do that wouldn't be 12 hours a day. And he suggested one of the trades. So I looked into it, and electrician was something that seemed like I'd be good at it. So I joined the electricians union and was an apprentice for a year. And then my children needing a mom full time, and our home situation kind of spiraled to where it became obvious I needed to stay home. So I've been staying at home ever since, and I got signed up with 9U shortly before I started staying home in May of 2019, and is when I started with 9U, and June of 2019 is when I started staying home.
What life experience triggered your desire to be a business owner?
It probably would have a lot to do with, so all of my children were surprises. Surprise. And the last one, Addison, I knew that she'd be my last baby, and that kind of made it that much more important to me to be with her as much as possible. And so I was really, really hankering to just be home with her. And I kept bringing it up to my husband, poking the bear, and and he finally he actually did some research for a couple of months, and found FBA, and then did some more research and found 9U. And so my strong desire to be home, and him knowing that we couldn't really live off of one income, that's what triggered me wanting to be a part of FBA, or having my own business.
So what experiences do you have in business prior to becoming a business owner?
Practically nothing.
Awesome.
I've always been in like a leadership type position when I've worked professionally. So I wasn't always in the leadership position, so I kind of could see from a different point of view what works with employees and what doesn't, what works with the public and what doesn't. And so I guess that would be valuable experience, but it's not really business related.
Well, and that's what I love about this series is there's no wrong answers, and we're all coming from different areas. And so
Yeah.
it's important for everybody to see wherever you're at is awesome. That's okay. That's your journey. And as long as we go from point A in beginning and point B to succeeding, that whole journey is your own. And let's share our stories with everybody. So
Right.
what life experiences have you had that you feel are an asset to you in your business?
My customer service. If there's one thing that, if you ask me, Lindsey, what professional skills do you have, and what are your strengths? Customer service would be my number one answer. From the age of 15, I've always had a customer service job, and it's been a learning experience, all along the way, as far as what works with the general public and what doesn't. And there was, let's see, when was that? I think I was working at the Honda dealership in Vancouver, and they are really good about keeping their employees trained. And I took this customer service class, and it literally opened my eyes to all different types of customers. There's they kind of classified it into 5 different types of customers, but it taught me how to quickly gauge what type of customer I was dealing with, and then how to effectively help or deal with that customer. But yeah, if you were to ask me what my strengths are, it would be customer service. I definitely have pride in how I'm able to take an unhappy customer and turn them, into a smiling customer.
All right, so this is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. What habits do you have or other life experiences that is a liability to your business?
Um, I procrastinate really bad. I like, I could do that tomorrow. Been trying to break the habit, really, like trying really hard to break the habit. And I've been, getting somewhere with it. But it's still something that I am trying to overcome. Like with my first inventory order for FBA, I uh, I dilly dallied so bad that it took 4 months for my product to get to Amazon from the day I ordered it. And if you know anything about FBA, it should only take about a month to 2 months tops, depending on your manufacturer's lead time and whether you go with air shipping or sea shipping. But I took twice the amount of time because I'm so bad at procrastinating. And I think a little bit of that has to do with my ADD. And I I sought some help for that, and I'm starting to take medication for that. So it's getting better. But yeah, that's one of my biggest things to overcome is procrastination, because there's always something better for me to do in my mindset, as far as like, because I've got 3 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm not a very good stay-at-home wife. As far as like, I hate doing dishes, I hate doing laundry, I hate all the skirt work, as they may have called it in the past. I'd rather go out and chop wood, or clear fence line, or mow the lawn. But I've got all this other stuff going on all the time, and I don't really get a whole lot of me time. So when I say there's always something better to do, it's me thinking like, ooh, I could go, sit and crochet for a little while. Yeah, Granny over here likes to crochet. Or I could play video games for a little while. So that's what I meant by there's always something better to do. Um, so I'm trying to change that mindset in the manner of, um, there's always something better with my business that I could do, because it's my business is starting to get to a point where I'm seeing some growth, and it's encouraging, and I'm wanting to spend more time on it because I can actually see some results from all my hard work and my perseverance.
What ignited your quote unquote spark to start the business? A lot of times looking back, you can, or at least I can kind of, I see a moment in time either during the beginning phases or at some point in my business where it was like an aha moment of, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing. I think this is going to work.
I think it was shortly after I joined Fast Track. I joined Fast Track. It's a 9U support system where they have 24/7 coaches, and you can just log on to this chat system and ask other fellow students that are also coaches questions about FBA, or about your business, and it's all confidential. We sign NDAs so that if you're doing product research, you can share your product finds, and they're not allowed to talk about it outside of the conversation, obviously. But I think that was a pretty big turning point for me, because I I knew next to nothing when I started on Fast Track. I actually learned more in the first couple of weeks with Fast Track than I did, in the first few months of being a part of the course. So that's I learned a lot from my peers, and I learned that there was a couple other coaches that had been through the same hardships I had, and were still plugging at it, still going strong, and still had a good attitude. And so I took that and ran with it, and came up with a way to fix my product so that it didn't infringe on a patent, and get it back to Amazon so that I could actually start making some money on it.
I think a lot of times, like for me especially, I have pride in what I do and say. So if I don't know something, the easiest way for me to learn it is to try to teach someone else. Because then
Yeah,
I'm accountable for learning it first before I tell someone and I know what I'm talking about. So that
right.
really makes sense for me. What's one task or thing in your business you absolutely hate to do?
Oh, sitting down and prepping my inventory. So when my crates hit Amazon, I'll grab one and show you. So I have a set of crates. This is the medium size one. And there's a smaller one that gets the stacks in here, and then a bigger one that the two stack into. They have handles, and they're just, kind of plain on the inside. But this was a chalkboard front, and that was the patent infringement because someone had a patent on a chalkboard front. And I had to pull all of my product from Amazon, figure out what to do with it, how to change it, because it only has to be different by like 3%, I believe, or something like that. So when I figured out that I wanted to do something cheap enough to where it didn't cut into my profit margin, and because my profit margin was already getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I decided to do the stickers. Well, when I have to get inventory ready to go, it's so tedious because all of my boxes are packaged and ready to go as far as the chalkboard front goes. So I have to open my carton, open each individual box, take each individual crate out of each individual bubble wrap bag, and then, check the front for any kind of, because sometimes there's, I don't know if it's glue or if it's the stain that they used or something, but sometimes there's bumps on the chalkboard and I have to get rid of those so that the sticker lays flat. And then I have to position the sticker quite perfectly and lay it all out quite perfectly. So that it's so tedious, and it takes me a good hour to do one carton. So when I can enlist my husband's help and my son's help, then it takes me, an hour to do 5 cartons. So when I have to do that by myself, that's the worst part. I don't know what I'll do when I don't have that, though. I don't know what my answer will be.
If you can go back to the first day of your entrepreneurial journey and focus on one thing, what would you first focus on?
Well, a lot of the tools weren't available that are available now when I started, because it's the whole process has become pretty innovative
Mm-hmm.
as far as, getting signed up and everything. I think I would have found a buddy in the program also that could go through the whole process with me, like side by side. We'd go through it together, because that may have helped a lot and helped me avoid the troubles I went through. I think, thinking back, there wasn't much of a support system in the program, or as much as there is now. So seeking out some kind of support system probably would have been smart.
What do you do to stay ahead of trends and ahead of your competition?
Well, I'm just starting to get in the habit of that. And actually, I'm going to a home decor, what would you call it? Convention in Vegas in April. And my good friend Derek is the one that told me about it. And they showcase what's up and coming in the home decor area. And I think that type of thing is going to be, pivotal to my business and the products that I offer. And I I need to keep up with that and keep, seeking out um, events like that or information like that, because it's home decor is a really tough category to compete in. So, I want to be different, and I want to offer products that are, you know, that are so different that people are like, wow, that's a really neat design. I'd rather have that. So I want to take in all the ideas that I get from things like this convention and articles and other events. Like there's one that's at the fairgrounds here locally. That's a chick boutique event, and take all of those ideas and kind of formulate my own idea on what is going to be um, what's going to be hot, and um, people are going to want. That way, I'm not sitting on a debt of a product. So essentially resourcing, finding other people that can give me tips and pointers.
And that's awesome, because I know, like, even just like talking about that in passing, a lot of people, you may mention what you're doing or what your thoughts and ideas are, but a lot of times it doesn't get past the idea stage. You're jumping at it, you're acting. Let's actually get this going. And that's what I love about it is there's a lot of ideas get tossed around in groups or on boards, but not a lot of action happening. So I love the fact that you're like, yeah, that sounds good, let's do it. What makes your business or your products unique?
I put a lot of my own sweat and hard work into them right now. I am talking with my supplier about a different solution so that I don't have to put the stickers on them, because it is tedious work and it does take up a lot of time. But my product is unique because I'm constantly going to be offering products that every home might not need, but every homeowner would want. They're going to be things that would make the room pop, and the atmosphere better. Like today, I'm going to be doing a little photo shoot with my boxes for Easter. I went down to the dollar store and bought a bunch of Easter stuff, and I'm just going to keep showing people the versatility of my product, and all the different ways they can use it. And that would probably be a good answer to that question too. Versatility. I want my products to be used in a range of ways and not just, have one sole purpose.
Well, and I mean, we're both in the same category. And so without sounding compartmentalized, but I like to think of a lot of what our products do is it takes you from the homeowner feeling like they just own a home or a house and making it a home. It's the finishing touches that add warmth, that make it feel yours.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, but I couldn't get it out.
How do you prioritize your tasks for the day, the week, and the month?
Oh, good Lord. We were just talking about me being a procrastinator, right? Well, so when my husband's not laid off and not being a slave driver, because he's got all these projects he wants to get home or done at home, I get done what I need to in the mornings for my business and my job as far as fast track goes, because I am now, I call myself team captain, because I'm not a manager, I'm not a supervisor, I'm just like the in-between for my teammates and my boss. So I get done what I need to in the mornings for my live stream with you, and fast track and my business. If there's things that I can think of, like one of our live streams, we were talking about keywords, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, I need to go in there and change my keywords. And then I spent some time doing some product research and found some keywords that would also work for my first product. And, you know, it got to a point where I had to put my computer up because my husband wanted me to get something done. So I just make myself a to-do list. I'm really so bad with my ADD that I make myself lists and I set myself alarms on my phone. And I try to get as much done as possible in the mornings before everyone gets moving. And I have all these other things I got to do because I take the kids to school. I pick them up from school. We have school on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. The preschooler is only in school for 2 hours. And then I do all the grocery shopping and I do all the running around and doing errands. And we sell a lot of stuff on eBay. So I'm running to the post office or UPS or FedEx a lot. And you know, we've got cows. So if we need anything for the cows, I'm running to the farm store. Like I constantly feel like I've got errands to run or things to do. Like my husband's been gone since Monday. It's Wednesday. He's not coming home till tomorrow. And it feels like the week has just flown by because I've been running all week long. So I would not be any bit organized without alarms on my phone or to-do lists.
How do you manage stress?
uh, I love spending time down in the shop at my workbench. I have a router and a Dremel, and I like creating things like signs. I created this sign at the bottom of our driveway for our house so that our house was, you know, plainly marked. And I really find that relaxing. Or other nitpicky projects like that, where most people find it too tedious or too time consuming. I love it. I like to color. I'll sit down and color with the girls, and I'll color like the adults, like mandala pictures, and that's really relaxing and de-stressing. And then doing the woodworking or crocheting, just finding myself some me time. That helps a lot. It's hard to do sometimes, but it helps.
To what do you attribute your success?
Well, my husband and I have been together for 10 years, and I would attribute probably 90% of my success to him, because he's always the one pushing me to keep going. He's always the one pushing me to be better, and, you know, helping me brainstorm, helping me come up with better ideas. Like I'll pitch an idea at him, and he's so brilliant that anytime I'm struggling with something, I'll say, hey, this is what I got going on. Can you help me come up with a better solution? Or, you know, what should I do? I'll ask him for advice. But yeah, he's been my rock, and he's definitely the reason why I've stuck with it and kept going.
Awesome. What are your most valuable, or actually I'm skipping one. How do you effectively scale?
I am currently working on that, because my with my all the troubles I went through with my crates, they're just starting to more steadily trickle in sales. And so I've started to sell on different platforms, or at least put listings on different platforms. I've gotten one sale from a different platform. So it's baby steps. I'm working on a second product, and trying to do my best to make it more different than everyone else's. And that way, you know, it's a little more eye-catching, and I try my best to keep up with the market, like doing product research on the product I already have to see what markets are have great demand, and what keywords people are typing in order to find this type of product. So vamping my listing and, you know, always changing stuff to stay with the demand.
What are your most valuable skills?
I would say customer service being one of them. And then I have the ability to my empathy is immense. I can really put myself in someone else's shoes and you know, empathize with them and, you know, see where they're coming from. It's been a talent of mine because there was a point in my life where I was getting so stressed out and so upset over my customer service interactions not working out well that I had to take a step back and go, okay, what am I doing wrong? And I realized that I'm going at it headstrong, and I'm going at it with one point of view, whereas there's multiple points of view, and I need to be able to see at least more than one. And that would help not only with sales or with upset customers, but with my life at home too. My ability to empathize is so immense. Like I don't have, my 12-year-old's dad lives an hour and a half away, and we've split up when he was like a year and a half, 2 years old. So I was a single mom for a while, and we've never had a parenting plan. He set up child support so that, because he asked me if he could claim our son. And I was like, you know what that means? And so he set up child support so that he would have a right to claim him every other year. And I've never upped that, even though I know he got a raise at work. I've never fought with him. We've always been really flexible with each other. And it's because I can put myself in my kiddo's shoes and in my ex's shoes. And it's a matter of like being able to see the world from someone else's eyes and knowing how they feel. And if you're from coaching to running a business to, you know, selling a product, if you can step in someone else's shoes and be able to see the world from their eyes, then you're going to be able to be that much more successful.
What are your company goals, both short and long term?
Short-term goal is to figure out funding for my next round of inventory on my crates and my second product. Long-term goals, I want to be able to have a business that not only funds itself, but funds my family and the things that my family wants to do. One thing that has been really hard for me being a stay-at-home mom, because I've worked all of my life, has been it's been the struggle of not contributing financially the way I always have. And I feel like I'm not bringing as much to the table as I used to, because I kind of suck at being a stay-at-home wife too. So, oh, what's for dinner tonight? Hamburger helper. But I want my business to be big enough to support my family and our dreams. But I also want it to be somewhat automated so that it doesn't consume all of my life. Anyone that's had a small business or been an owner of a business or been close to an owner of a business knows that the business can literally consume your life if you let it. And I don't want that for my family. So I want to, you know, stay innovative and automate it as much as possible so that I can have, the life away from the business and the business life.
Okay, now this one's kind of a fun one. A lot of times I put someone on the spot because they haven't really thought of this, but I already, having known you, I kind of know an answer, so I can help you out. But what does your company do to help the community where you're located?
So when my husband and I buy storage units, we we have a goal of making more than what we paid for it, right? So if we get to a certain point where we've made quite a bit off of the storage unit and there's still quite a bit left, then we'll get to, instead of taking it all to the dump, I'll say, hey, does anybody know any people that are in need right now? We have all these housewares or all this furniture. The last one that we purchased, there was a couple of wheelchairs and a couple of adults bathroom chairs and a walker. And I donated those to the local thrift store because I know that they're not going to charge an arm and a leg for them. But they're going to be available to people that can't afford those things brand new, and they're practically brand new. The wheelchairs and the walker look brand new, and the bathroom chairs are still packaged like they were never opened. So I try to give back to the community as much as possible, in that I help out those that are in need. And like, we had a couple purchase, God, what did they buy from us? It was a piece of furniture, and we got to talking to them for a while because they were talkative and seemed like good people. And the wife was asking us, about, because we always tell everyone we buy stuff out of storage units, because you'll get those questions, how long have you had this, or how much use has this had, or questions about products. And I'm like, well, I have no idea because I got it out of a storage unit. And she was saying how she does this weekly garage sale thing, where it's one location and a bunch of people bring all of their stuff. And I said, well, we're kind of at the point where we're not really selling anything anymore. You can just come get all of this. And she took 3 trips and took it to the local market, and was able to, sell it for pennies on the dollar, because, she didn't have to pay for it. So she was able to mark it down that much more. And so she got a little bit out of it for her family. And then the families that purchased from her got a little bit out of it too. So
Awesome. We are down to the last question already. It's kind of bittersweet, but I know that you've got things you got to get done today. So if you had one piece of advice for someone who is just starting out, what would it be?
I would say to, there's a couple of words that you need to keep either pinned in front of you or in your mind constantly. Perseverance and effort, because you won't be able to build anything without those. There isn't a business that you could start nowadays that doesn't take perseverance and effort. There might be a couple of get rich quick schemes that actually work and are legit, but most of them aren't. And you can't give in, and you can't give up. You got to remember why you started, and remember what your goals are, and not have it all be for nothing. You've invested all this money into starting this business. You've invested all this time and this effort. Don't give up and have it be for nothing.
Awesome. Now, I always like to end with one thing that all business owners have in common is time is super valuable. And I want to thank you for giving your time to us today. And everybody watching, thank you for watching. I really enjoy this series. Hope you are too. With that, have a great Thursday, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.